Live League Game of the Day. Featuring Heuristic as Flak versus Hudge as Jugger.
Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Semi-original guy here, aka Mr. Cannon from Advanced Wars by Web, bringing you another Live League Game of the Day. Today, folks, we got ourselves a match on a little map called Lead in the Skies. This is a Fog of War matchup with Triple Base Airport and Comm Tower support. Now, this is what you might refer to as a small map. It is a very tiny map, folks. There's not a whole lot of space to work with here, which is kind of a unique factor when it comes to Fog of War matchups, because a lot of the time, I would like to say the Fog of War maps in general, are kind of more medium to somewhat of a larger scale. Now, when it comes to the Live League, it's more like a medium scale. So this one is kind of interesting, seeing as it's very, very small. But we have ourselves two Fog of War fanatics here, folks. We have Heuristic and Hudge as our players today. Hudge playing as the Slimy Boys, but we're actually going to change him to the Dino Boys today. Nothing against the Slimy Boys, but you know, I just want to have dinosaurs versus monkeys, apes. Dinos versus apes. Godzilla versus King Kong. That's what we got here, folks, because we have one of the most volatile matches of all time here, folks. We have flippin' Flak versus Jugger. What is gonna happen in this game? I have absolutely no idea. These are two crazy CEOs. Absolutely two crazy CEOs. They're both Lux CEOs. Both of them have the potential of hitting the slots big or losing their entire life savings and then forced to live in a box for the rest of their lives. But I don't know exactly which way it's gonna go, but I think it's going to be absolutely fun. Now, when we take a look at the map, folks, this is a standard, not necessarily a standard strong side versus weak side dynamic here, folks, but it does have a lot of potential to be a standard strong side versus weak side. Obviously, this would be considered your strong side because we have three bases in an airport that are all able to go here and attack this area here, mainly to protect the HQ, considering that the HQs are kind of a little bit exposed, not super exposed, but just exposed enough that I don't feel super confident about leaving the HQ alone. But considering that you do have direct reinforcement range over here from your base, you would have to be losing pretty badly in order to lose that HQ. Now, this base over here has either the potential to go up here into the center, strike down here, start going for these contested properties, or going over here and assaulting the HQ, but also has to go and grab the comm tower, folks. Now, I don't know if necessarily it's going to be a comm tower goes to this side over here, or comm tower goes to this side over here. I think it's a little bit of a toss-up here, folks, but I would probably safely say that your strong side over here is the one that's going to be getting the comm tower. So this entire section of the map here would be owned by these guys over here. This one would be owned by these guys over here, with the exception of a few contested properties around the map. Maybe this one might be contested. This one might be a little bit contested too, but I can see them sort of easily falling to one side or the other. But either way, who knows what's going to happen. It's going to be an absolute barbaric blow to this one here, folks. So it's going to be pretty good. So without further ado, let's go ahead and see what went down in the Live League today. On the first few days, folks, you all know the deal. It is the standard infantry builds because you got to get the infantry on the field. It is the number one priority in Advanced Wars by Web. Number two priority in Advanced Wars by Web, folks. Make sure you like and subscribe to the channel if you are not already for all that hot Live League action. Now, we see the infantry are rolling now. Now, it will be a little while before we see a vehicle. We could potentially actually see a vehicle right now, but we don't. We're not going to be seeing a vehicle right now, folks. Hudge could potentially bust out a vehicle as well. Is he going to go the route of the Reekly Deekly Doo? No, he doesn't, folks. Going triple infantry. Now, the very, very interesting thing about this entire matchup is the fact that you have a recon in the corner of the map that is able to see everything that your opponent does. So until you do something about that, they are just going to be able to see everything that you do. So there is not going to be any surprises here, folks. But as we can see here, Mr. Hudge is taking care of business. He's a man of business, and he likes to take care of business, folks. He has built the mechanized infantry and the recon. Here we flip and go, folks. We are going to be seeing the destruction of this pesky little enemy recon here very, very soon. As we can see here, the Baboonians have come out with a recon of their own here, folks. Now, here is the biggest question of Advanced Wars right now, folks, and that is, do you believe that the monkey mech is better than the dino mech? Now, there is an obvious answer to this question, folks, and I think the monkey mech is probably a little bit better than the dino mech. Now, some people might not agree with me, but I just think in their overall designs here, the monkey mech is very, very cool. Now, I'm just going to do a close-up of the monkey mech here just so you can see here, folks. The flow of the monkey is very, very nice. It's very nice, folks. The animator of the monkey definitely deserves some praise here, folks. Definitely some praise indeed. Now, that doesn't say anything against the wonderful dino mech over here as well. As you can see here, this dino mech is a fantastic mech. There's nothing wrong with this mech. They're both good mechs, but I think the monkey mech is just a little bit better overall. But either way, they are both going to be explosively volatile in this matchup, so I'm looking forward to it. Let's see this first mech hit. Flipping 60% damage, folks. Holy smokerinos. Here we go, folks. Here we go. Alright, triple infantry this turn. Now, couldn't really buy anything else, but honestly, triple infantry is probably the best thing that you can do here. Without a doubt. Oh! 70% damage. 70% damage. Oh my god. Oh my god. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. So much damage, folks. It was absolutely fantastic, the amount of damage that managed to do. It is now Hudge's turn in the dino corner. Let's see what he decides to do here, folks. Boom! There he goes. No more recon, folks. No more intel for Mr. Heuristic. He's going to live an intel-less life from now on, folks. He's got no intel, but he does have a recon in the front lines, which is equally as good temporarily. Boom. Now take that cheeky little hit in order to injure the infantry, folks. If you're not injuring the infantry, you're not playing Advanced Wars by Web, right? Boom! There goes another big hit. 60% damage. Takes out the reekly deekly do. And now we're having a great time for me and you. Alright, here we go. Day 7. Hudge's turn. The Jugginator. Let's see what he manages to do with this turn here, folks. He's going to be flipping, moving everything all at the exact same time. The sheer dramaticism of that move. It just so quick. So quick, folks. It was so quick that we're not even going to go back, folks, because he has built a tank. He has built a tank on the field. It is ready to go. It is built out of this position right here. It's going to be able to hit the center so quick. We got a tank chain going. Who is going to fall victim to the tank chain first, though? Who is going to allow themselves to be caught out in the open with their pants down and allow for a first strike here? It looks like both players doing the correct choice of doing a tank chain out of the same property. I think in this case, definitely got to be doing tank chains out of the same property. A little bit risky to not, in all reality. Especially with the map being so close together here, folks. You definitely got to prioritize those tank chains. Oh my lord, we got a flipping battlecopter, folks. Now, battlecopter is a great buy. I'm not saying it's not, folks, but the only thing that I don't like about the battlecopter right now is that it is in range of the recon, so your opponent knows that the battlecopter is coming. Now, that may or may not force a battlecopter of their own or an anti-air. In Hudge's case here, I can see him probably go an anti-air in order to counter this. Now, he doesn't know that Heuristic is base skip, but anti-air infantry is probably the better of the choices here. Save yourself a little bit of money, because you could go battlecopter infantry base skip, but luck is a heck of a drug, folks. It's a heck of a drug, and you just shouldn't play with it too much. You shouldn't play with it too much. All right, so Mr. Hudge is going to be playing with luck, and he's going to be doing the base skip. Kind of ironic that they both decide to go for a base skip at the same time here. That is kind of funny, not going to lie. Now, maybe one of the reasons why they don't want to go anti-air is because Heuristic has so much tank presence on the front of, or at the on the map here, in the center of the map already, that maybe he thinks it's going to be a little bit too difficult to get the anti-air into position or to deal with the battlecopter, and that is entirely possible, folks. You know, I would not say that is a factually incorrect statement. I think it is definitely fairly factual. Definitely even possible. All right, we got the battlecopter triple infantry build this turn. Heuristic hitting that 15 property mark. That is much more than Mr. Hudge at the moment. Mr. Hudge is an incredibly strong advanced Earth by web player. So the fact that he's behind right now in income says something to the power of Heuristic on this map, folks. And Heuristic looks like he's going to be getting another property here. Let's see if he manages to get... He's definitely going to be getting that property, folks. He's going to be snagging that property. That's going to put him at 16,000 money per turn as the units just roll up into the corner and start causing massive damage, folks. Holy macaroni and cheese. But it would appear that there is going to be a flip here, folks. Mr. Hudge has found himself in a situation where he's going to be able to flip two properties. Well, one property right now and another property potentially later in the not too distant future, if everything works out good for him, which it could potentially work out pretty good for him indeed. However, there's also the potential for things not to work out good, and those are the kind of times that, you know, you really just have to think to yourself, you know what, it's okay, it's all right if things don't work out well for me. You know what, that is just Advance Wars. Sometimes the Advance Wars goes, sometimes the Advance Wars doesn't go, folks. And that is all there is to it. I really hope that Hudge is going to go and defend the infantry down south with the tank. Now, that does put the tank out of position for a little while here, but it guarantees you the flip, or at least very likely will guarantee you the flip, considering the fact that this base is a 1, 2, 3, 4... 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 movement in order to actually go and interrupt this base. So if anything was built out of the base right away, it's not going to be able to reach that property right there, folks. And these properties are probably going to be flipped over to the side of Heuristic, to the monkey boys over here. So the southern properties need to be flipped over to Hudge in order for him to stand a chance here. So something's got to happen with that, folks. I'm hoping he goes in defense. He does defend. What a flipping genius, folks. What an absolute genius, man. He has found a way to protect the properties. And that's what you got to do in Advanced by Live, folks. You got to protect your properties. Flipping battlecopter tank combination. Moving in with the infantry takes it down to 4. But that's actually not enough. That's not enough to stop the capture. He's going to be getting that capture, folks. Now, was that actually a low roll? This is one of the questions that we have to be asking ourselves right now. Was it a low roll? It could have possibly been a low roll, folks. So let's actually consult the damage calculator and see what kind of a roll we are actually dealing with in this situation, folks. It's a 39 to 64% roll. So yeah, I would say that is definitely a roll. Minimum is going to do is 3. Maximum it's going to do is 6. And how much damage did it actually do? Let's just go ahead and check that one more time here. So it does 4. So that was actually a significant low roll. Significant low roll, folks. Very unfortunate. Very unfortunate for Mr. Heuristic. He's going to have that property flip, which is fantastic for Mr. Hudge. Hudge is feeling absolutely giddy about that. He's having the best time of his life here, folks. He's having the best time. Well, aside from like being behind a little bit here, but he gets the flip that brings the property back in his favor, and he pops the power, folks. Holy flipping macaroni and cheese sandwiches here, folks. It is going down right now. Holy moly, what's gonna happen? Takes it to 7. Oh, he gets the clear. Okay, so ooh boy. Oh boy, this is the potential here, folks. This is where it's all at. This is what it's all about in Advanced Wars by Web right here, folks. Like, just take a look at the damage that we are dealing with here in infantry. going into attack this battlecopter has the potential to do anywhere between 0 and 62% damage, folks. That means that with 2 infantry, this battlecopter could potentially fall. And I'm all for it. I love flipping Jugger and Phlox Co-Power and Super Co-Power. It is an absolute gamble, and I'm all for it, folks. Hopefully he rolls big. If he rolls low, well, you know, that's just the way she goes, folks. So what's he gonna do? Takes... Ooh. All right, so hits a big 3. Big 3. You know, that's a pretty average roll. Pretty average roll in this situation here, folks. That's like a 50... That's the 50% right there. Let's see what this one ends up being. Oh, another 50%. Okay, so in total, that's not bad. It's not too shabby, folks, because 2 infantry managed to do 60% damage to that battlecopter, which is absolutely insane. And then the tank rolls up. Oh, man. Oh, okay. Ooh, mid-roll. Mid-roll, that's fine. Kind of a low roll. Mid-roll. Actually, you know what? That's not even a low roll. That's a mid-roll. Mid-roll. I'll show you why, folks. I'll show you why. Because this is where it gets wonky. It gets absolutely wild, folks. Wild. You're doing 33 to 96% damage on this roll. Could be anywhere. Could be anywhere in there. So the fact that we even hit 5, you know what? Not too bad. It's not a low roll. It's just a lower than average roll. That's all. That's all it is. 5 damage plus a clear. Ooh, that infantry rolled high, folks. I'm not going to check the damage calculator on that one, but we can. It rolled high. You're going to have to take my word for it, folks. But heuristic. Oh my god. It's his turn. And he's not going to be popping the power. Oh yeah, he's going to be saving that Phlox Super Co-Power, folks. Now, there could be a reason for this, and I think there definitely is a reason. And one of the reasons is because, well, it's sort of a simple thing. It's a simple thing. So he could be saving it just for a more optimal time to use him when he has like more potential KOs, and that's probably what he's doing. But also, if you use a luck CO power into somebody that's using a co-power, you automatically lose 10% of that luck because of the natural passive defense that you get from using a power. So it's kind of unfortunate, no? It's kind of unfortunate. Messes with your luck a little bit, folks. It's like the dealer is working against you, and you don't want that, folks. But holy macaroni and cheese, man. So heuristic, he's sitting at 13 minutes and 29 seconds right now. And this man is just finding these ways to have these awesome death balls right now where your opponent can just barely see anything that's going on, folks. He's hiding himself perfectly here, which is very nice. Very nice for him. He's a great player. Great player indeed, but he's about to have the comm tower and the property flipped. And Mr. Hudge, yeah, he doesn't care. He doesn't care about how well the position is, folks. He's just like, you know what? You can have the greatest position in Advanced Wars by Web if you want, folks, but I am just gonna take it. I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna destroy it. And I'm gonna destroy you, and I'm gonna destroy everything you represent. That's what he's gonna do, and he's just gonna shimmy all the units forward. And you know what? It's actually not even too bad, because in all reality, there wasn't really too many units that were taken out there. He was sitting at 22 units at the start of the turn, sitting at 19 units right here. Really, it was just a massive shift into the center of the map here, and yeah, it's looking kind of bad for Mr. Hudge right now, because heuristic just walked right up there and just did so much damage. Like having double comm towers for a turn there definitely played a factor in that attack, but not like a major factor, not a super major factor. And this is kind of a risky. We're fighting into the belly of the beast here, folks. Is it gonna be enough to secure victory here? Brings the tank back, brings the battlecopter forward. Still sitting pretty far away from being able to use the co-power, but gets a nice clear. That is a high roll clear right there, folks. So very, very well played. Well played indeed. It's almost like it took skill to do that attack or something, folks. I have absolutely no idea. What the heck is skill in Advanced Wars by Web? I have no idea. Oh, I know. This is skill right here, folks. When you pop the barbaric blow, folks. The barbaric blow. This is the most skill in Advanced Wars by Web that you can possibly ever need here, folks. And let's see what it actually manages to do, because I am super for it, folks. All right, so we're going to go back to the damage calculator again, because this is the stuff where it gets absolutely funny. 0 to 95% damage here, folks. There is so much potential here. I can't wait to see it. What's it going to roll? Nothing. Got him. All right. Oh, hilarious. Absolutely hilarious. Boom. All right. Triple pronged attack on that infantryman to take it out. Mid roll right there. Not too shabby. 0. Oh my god. Just can't get the clear. What's this? Oh, so this is kind of a funny scenario here too, folks. We're going to damage calculator this. I'm enjoying the damage calculator for this game, folks, because it's super funny. All right. So no matter what, it is going to be a clear on this copter, folks. There's absolutely no chance that it's not a clear, but you know, it's the difference between a clear of 105% to 233%. You know, it could be anywhere in that range. So you never know. It might survive. I don't know. Could survive. Maybe. Oh. All right. Okay. That's a mid roll. That's a good roll. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, mid roll. Going in with the infantry. Decent. Not a great roll. Beautiful roll. All right. The most skill in Advanced Wars by Web right there, folks. Holy macaroni and cheese. Hudge. This got hit so hard. So hard. Rough. Absolutely rough. But you know what? It ain't over till it's over, folks. It's going to be activating the overclock. All it takes is a few lucky rolls here, and this game is completely turned around, folks. Let's see what he manages to do. Doesn't get as lucky as he would like. And oh my god, the infantry doesn't finish the 1 HP copter. Oh my god. Copter doesn't finish the copter. Almost clears it, but doesn't finish it. Very unfortunate. All right. I'm going to get those easy clears. That's going to get a clear. Ooh, if he can take... Oh, if this hits pretty high. Let's see. 80. Okay. That's big. That's big. Gets the cleared. Is this going to clear? No. Oh, you know what? It was a noble effort. It was a noble effort, that attack, folks. It was pretty decent. And in all reality, you know, Mr. Heuristic, he's only got 3 units, 3 vehicle units that are healthy enough that they can do any significant damage here. But Hudge just doesn't have anything on the front lines. As soon as the copter and the 7 HP tank are taken out, there's not really too much left on the front lines that can really be overly effective here. But you never know. You never know what's going to happen here, folks. Once again, as stated, I am all for it. Let's go ahead and see what happens here. Okay, this is the other thing that I forgot to mention also, folks. When you're attacking into a Luxio that has their power activated, you also have to understand the fact that they are going to be able to counterattack you with those luck damage, with that luck damage as well. Now, in this instance, take a look at this recon attack that just happened here. The recon, you know, he's running pretty low on fuel, but also what he's running really low on is luck. He's got no luck here, folks. He did 40% damage to the infantry, and the infantry counter attacks him for 40% damage. Like, what the absolute blug is going on here? Like, holy moly. All right. So that was a good clear. So that's looking pretty decent in the heuristic domain over here. Like that's pretty good. He's feeling pretty good about that attack. Now Hudge, he banked up a little bit of charge here. So if he can manage to shimmy around, find some decent attacks, might be able to get another power here. And if he gets another power, that is going to be pretty good for him. Let's see if he can manage to pull something out here. Takes out the copter. Takes out an infantry. Brings the tanks back. Eliminates copter. Doesn't look like he's going to get the power. He's going to bring the tanks back for some heals. All right. You know what? There's nothing wrong with that, folks. There's nothing wrong with that. Also, it's important to mention that this is actually technically an even game. It is 23-23. Hudge, you know, he came back from like quite a bit of like deficit here. So let's see if he can capitalize on this and sort of keep the momentum going. But, Heuristic just keeps going in there. No care or concern. Just pummeling the armies of Hudge over here. And this is one of the problems when it comes to like a small map like this, folks. In a lot of Fog of War scenarios, you're able to attack, pull back, front shift, go to another section of the map, yada, bulbada, and then go in and strike from another area another day. On a map this small like this, once you lose terrain, you're forced to pull back, and then you can't really adjust yourself and go into another section of the map because there's just nowhere to move. Now, that is great for these really, really fun, personal, intimate battles. And there's nothing wrong with that. But in a scenario where you're getting pushed back, it feels pretty bad sometimes, folks. I'm not going to lie. It does feel pretty bad. But Hudge is playing this very well. He's doing his best here, folks. But Heuristic, considering the position here, there is definitely a chance to possibly end this game here. If he just, he's going south, folks. Ooh. I was gonna say, if he goes south here, that basically solidifies the amount of damage that he does here, and that is gonna be difficult to attack into. Let's see what Hudge manages to do here. He's going to be striking down the infantry, trying to cap the comm tower. Goes to interrupt, double interrupt here, brings the forces down, and then ends the turn right there, folks. Heuristic, see what he manages to do. Activates a power. Oh, and he's up so much, folks. He's up 79,500 to 57,721 units to 26 units. Oh, what's going to happen? Oh, he gets the clear. Join caps. Does 60. Does 60 again. Gets the clear. Oh, 70. So much damage. So much damage. And now he's capping the property. Oh, my lord. Oh, my flipping lord. All right, it is Hudge's turn. Hudge activates the overclock. All right, co-power into co-power. This is where the absolute peak level of volatileness occurs in Advanced Wars by Web, folks. Let's see every single attack that happens here. A 3-9. What do we get? Takes it down to 6-1. Okay, fairly average. Not really anything going on there. 4-3. What do we got? Clear. Okay. We got infantry into copter. No damage. Okay, but doesn't counterattack very much either. Tank into tank. Boom. All right, average roll. What do we got here? Tank into tank. Boom. Gets the clear. Okay, so now we got to get the clear on these copters. Like, this flipping infantry needs to go in there and do massive damage. Absolute massive damage. Does no damage. Absolute massive damage. Okay, 4. All right, so could have been better. Could have been better. Could have been better. All right. Is what it is, folks. Is what it is. It's day 19. Day 19. I'm actually kind of disappointed. We had the potential there, folks. We had the potential to see one of the most volatile turns in Advanced Wars by Web, but unfortunately, we were teased. We were teased out of it, and it was very sad. It was very sad to see it. But you know what? It's okay. Somehow my heart will go on. Like Celine Dion says, folks. All right. Getting them clears. Boom, boom, boom. Alright, doesn't get the clear there. He's so deep. He's so deep into that territory right now, folks. Day 19. What do we do? What do we do in this situation? We're going to be losing the comm tower. We're going to be losing a property. And the HQ is under threat right now. And that's the biggest problem right now, is the HQ is under threat. But we activate the power, folks. Let's go. Last ditch power effort. Are we going to be seeing some massive numbers here? Infantry into anti-air does 1 damage. There's another 1 damage right there. 90% damage. Good roll. Good roll. 1 damage. APC infantry to the resign, folks. What a classy resign. What a classy resign indeed. Heuristic played very well that game, folks. Played very well. But in a game of pure luck and chance, the only real factor comes down to skill and positioning. And Heuristic had the edge here from very mid-game. Very mid-game indeed. Hudge definitely had some potential here. I think the factor that he was down a little bit of income for a little bit of the early game here definitely played a factor into it, but I don't know. Is what it is, folks. Hudge is an amazing player. Heuristic is an amazing player. That was an amazing game between the two of them. I absolutely love to see the Flock and the Jugger get represented in Advanced with by Web. So hopefully you all enjoyed that one. And if you did, consider leaving a like, comment, or subscribe to the channel, folks. I will see you on the next one. Take care of yourselves, and bye-bye for now.